What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to break down why Tesla absolutely killed it. They destroyed all expectations. They beat expectations. They killed it on this earnings report. They even, surprised me. They did so well, and considering the fact that the short interest went up pretty hard, lots of shorts piled in, there's a good chance lots of these shorts may get squeezed very, very soon. And I do believe Tesla could actually push up pretty hard off what they just announced on this earnings report. So I watched the entire report. I sat there quietly and took notes on everything from the start to the finish. And I want to share some of the biggest findings and the biggest things that Elon Musk said and talk about why this was just incredible, why Tesla is very strong, and why it actually, it's likely going to do even better than I expected. Now, before I break anything down, before I get into any details about that, let me mention a couple of things real quick. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, whether it's $1 or $100, it's up to you. You're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $3,000. The offer ends in just 6 days. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Looking at Tesla, this thing is actually pumping in the after hours. Am I guaranteeing it's going to pump forever? The answer is not necessarily, because we do have GDP data and other things coming out. But as of right now, I do believe it has a lot of squeeze potential. Going into tomorrow, it might make a big move to the upside. I do believe it's going to most likely outperform the market. I want to explain exactly why. So just to remind everyone, like I mentioned yesterday, the short interest on Tesla almost doubled. We saw lots of shorts piling in. They did actually go down a little bit yesterday because some shorts ended up covering and many of them actually exited their positions. But it is still a lot higher than where it was last week. So there is a higher short interest, and the put to call ratios are also a lot higher, suggesting that when institutions and Wall Street go too heavy on the short side, if they start shorting and the stock ends up doing the opposite, they could get squeezed. And they also hedge by closing their short positions, closing their puts, and by buying shares. That could also lead to more bullish price action and more bullish pressure that pushes the share price up. So I wanted to just note that real quick. Is that going to happen? How high could Tesla go? I'm going to talk a little bit about that later, but I have a lot more to say about this report. So I'm going to try to make this quick. I have a lot of things to go over. We are still seeing the inventories come down amidst the price cuts that Tesla announced, and they ended up doing much better. So how did Tesla do? Tesla ended up reporting that they beat on earnings per share at $1.19 versus $1.13 expected. I didn't expect this, guys. I actually thought that Tesla would come a little bit short on EPS and maybe match revenue. And I apologize. Sometimes this company just blows you away. The reason I came to that conclusion was because of the potential recession. Many comments by Elon Musk about the recession in 2023 potentially being as comparable to that of 2009 and other factors like that. And it is what it is. You can't always predict everything perfectly. And looking at this now, it's looking to me like this company's odds of just killing it for every single earnings report for the next 12 months has gone up significantly, even though it depends on other factors like supply chains and lockdowns and things like that. If we just ignore those factors and we just look at Tesla for what it is, for what the plan is, their margins, I believe they have the potential to kill it. They're even stronger than I thought. Let me break down exactly why. So during the call, before the call came out, we got some numbers. Once again, oh, I forgot to mention this. The revenue, they actually beat on revenue, $24.32 billion versus 24.16 expected. They beat on revenue, they beat on earnings per share. I thought they would actually meet on revenue, which was very close to what happened, and I thought they would miss, and that ended up being wrong on earnings per share. They actually ended up beating on it, so very amazing from Tesla. But on top of that, I'm just going to quickly go over this, guys, because I want to talk more about the things Elon Musk said. Tesla has been doing very, very well. Operating cash flow of $14.7 billion, free cash flow of 7.6 billion in 2022. And then we have a lot more from just Q4 alone. We have free cash flow of 1.4 billion just from Q4. That's a big increase. They have lots of cash at hand. We're seeing big increases in their energy storage, up over 64% year over year. Let's go. Deliveries were also, they did actually miss on Q4 estimates, but they still ended up doing very well when it comes to these numbers. So still, I want to give them a big congratulations. And I think the team did a very good job. Looking at some specific numbers, I'm going to just quickly go over this. The automobile gross margin is still at about 26%, very close to the previous report. And the revenue is actually up even more. So very impressive. Now, does inflation play a role in this? Yes. But looking at it, they also had more deliveries in one quarter than we've ever seen. It wasn't really a decline, and that's because of the fact that they have new factories coming out. The lockdowns were not as like intense or as crazy during that time frame. When all of this came out, and Tesla is continuing to expand in a very good way. Now, their margins are getting closer to that 20% mark. They are going to likely approach that as the quarters go on. But if you keep the average car price of 47,000, which is something they mentioned, even despite that, there could still be adjustments being made to the prices. I'm going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. And despite all of that, everything else was pretty decent in my opinion. If you look at their net cash provided by the operating activities, it's a little bit lower than what we actually got during the last time, but the free cash flow is still pretty good. If you look at cash equivalents, and investments, we're not at 21 billion anymore. We're at 22 billion. So very, very big increase. For the financial side, the revenue is still up once again year over year. Very, very incredible. Margin is very similar to that of 2021. Still not too bad despite all of the external factors that got in their way, from the lockdowns to the supply chain constraints. Gross margins are also very similar, actually a little bit higher for 2022 than 2021. Very interesting to see. And besides that, like I said, the large majority of the numbers are pretty nice. So we're actually seeing a 37% year over year growth in their revenue. And then on top of that, that's a 24.3 billion from Q4. We're also seeing a lot of growth in deliveries, growth in other parts. Profitability, we actually saw their operating income improve by $3.9 billion in Q4. Once again, incredible. And they're ending with $22.4 billion, another big increase in Q4 in cash. So very, very impressive. Not just cash, but cash equivalents and investments. Very, very impressive. They also increased their credit lines, giving them more different options for using their money more efficiently. During a time of a recession, that's what companies tend to do. Then we have their production slash deliveries right over here. The most popular ones come out to be the Model Y and Model 3. Once again, doing quite well. And once again, Q4 was still their strongest quarter overall. So very awesome for deliveries and also production. It was 44% growth year over year from the production side, which is a fantastic. But for deliveries, only 31%. Once again, because of other external factors that ended up affecting Tesla. But overall, when you start to see what Elon Musk said, demand is not a big issue. And that's because Tesla found a way to offset this risk. So I know I went over all of this a little bit too fast, but I'm just going to try now get on with the second part of this video. We're seeing more improvements potentially being made in Nevada. They're going to be starting and working very hard on the Cybertruck very soon. The Cybertruck, they're going to start production officially in like the summer, but the mass production that we're talking about, the different lines of it, that's going to be more and more extensive in 2024. So we have quite a bit of time for the Cybertruck to be getting out in like mass production, but overall, there's still a lot of progress being made. On top of that, lots of improvements to vehicle softwares. Their 4680 cells, once again, very, very incredible. And finally, I want to now just talk about the things Elon Musk and the others said. We have some very nice pictures here, very, very efficient systems that are being developed. And I'm going to now pull up my notes on the side and just talk to you guys about what I heard. So Elon Musk said, "It was a great honor to work with great people. they produced 1.3 million cars for the calendar year with $12.5 billion in net income. And despite the fact that there were all these hardships in 2022, they managed to actually achieve it. Elon Musk mentioned demand will still be quite good, despite the fact that there will be a potential contraction in the economy and in the automobile industry across the world as a whole. The price changes made a difference for the average consumer, and for people with lots of money, they often forget about affordability. So he's glad that they've been able to do that. He also mentioned the fact that the cost of production are actually dropping with higher growth in production, the full self-driving beta to city streets, and etc is now extended to over 400,000 North American consumers, and they're at about 100 million miles of full self-driving tests and etc. outside of highways. So 100 million miles, incredible work. We also could see the safety statistics that are increasingly excellent in Elon Musk's opinion, which actually has massive truth relative to their counterparts. And they're going to be increasing the battery cell production for their long term goals to get over 1,000 gigawatt hours of cells produced internally. Once again, absolutely incredible. The cells are becoming more efficient, and Musk mentioned Tesla's main goal. He noted the fact that there are three pillars of a sustainable future: electric vehicles, that's the first one. Solar and wind would be the second. And the third one is energy storage. Tesla's working very hard to make that a reality. He also mentioned, he thanked all the employees. Then he mentioned that free cash flow is up over 50% year over year. And they're going to have another very good 2023. He mentioned that lockdowns, interest rates, taxes and a bunch of other things could slow them down, but they're doing what they can to make it work. And despite that, they're still in a very good state. He mentioned that for the Model Y production and costs, they're actually seeing very good signs of improvement. The energy business had another very great year. On top of that, they do expect that for the short term, things could be very volatile in the stock market. Elon Musk implied that. He said that if there's a recession, which he believes there most likely will be one, he also mentioned that it's likely going to be comparable with that of the financial crisis. And in terms of like the recession itself, right? He mentioned that, and his point was it could likely lead the stock market to not perform as well for the shorter term. So for the shorter term, referring to like the next few months, maybe for the remainder of the year, Tesla could still see some downside. He implied that, right? If the whole market comes down. But he said for the long term, going into next year and the years beyond, he thinks Tesla is going to become the most valuable company on the planet. He's still very bullish, very excited. That's great news for people out there. Many believe that the margins will drop below 20%, but Tesla has maintained the fact that they are going to be able to adjust for the prices. Tesla is not only notorious for full self-driving technology, but they also have tremendous software updates coming, not to mention hardware updates. So it's two in one. Elon Musk also mentioned that each car is getting closer to full self-driving technology, making the asset's value increase one of the highest in history, because full self-driving technology is going to be absolutely massive, and the fact that each of these cars that you're selling is able to incorporate this technology, it really benefits every single one of those consumers, and it's going to benefit the world in Elon Musk's opinion. He mentioned the fact that the net value of Twitter is also gigantic, and he mentioned that he is popular on Twitter, and he's using that as a platform to spread the word on Tesla. It's like an advertising platform for Tesla in a way, and he believes that it's a major component of their success. Right? He basically implied that. He also mentioned the fact that the full self-driving hardware would most likely come for the Cybertruck, and for 2023. Uh, there's not as much they could say, but when 2024 comes, they're going to have more and more updates. It's going to be even better. Now, I also want to note, and let me actually uh, change the picture. I know you guys have been looking at that for a while. This is what the Mega Pack looks like, the final assembly of it. Very awesome. And right here, this is the Giga Shanghai. Elon Musk did say a lot of things about China. I'm going to talk about those in just a couple of minutes. Uh, Going forward, they talked about Tesla insurance. It's likely going to take a while to become as big as it could end up getting. We're getting consistent growth. That's the good thing about it. And about 17% of the customers use Tesla insurance products, and it's continuing to grow, incentivizing more competitors to compete, thus reducing costs for our customers, according to Elon Musk and many of the other engineers at Tesla. I also believe that what else is good about it is this could help bring down the costs of repairs for Teslas to actually help consumers. That in turn is actually true, not just because of that, but also because of innovations such as bumper improvements and other things that came from logistical improvements. On top of that, Elon Musk mentioned that the Cybertruck production is on track this year, sometime in the summer. It's obviously going to be very slow to start it off, but it's going to increase exponentially once they get it out. Volume production. This is when it like becomes much bigger, when way more people are going to have access to it. Uh, it's going to be more extensive by next year. So they're starting in summer. It's not going to be like so fast. They're just going to be a few of them. It's going to take a while when they start producing it. But when the volume production comes, it's going to be by next year, 2024. He also mentioned the fact that there are going to be lots of updates involving energy storage. Tesla's total production is getting closer to 2 million, but it's also going to depend on like wars, pandemics, supply chains, and etc. Elon Musk also mentioned that the technology of the battery cells is going to be used for many different products, and they're going to reveal new products very soon. So once again, absolutely incredible. He said very important things about the Doji. I'm sorry, the Dojo. I think I just called it the Doji. The Dojo supercomputer. I believe that the things that they're doing with it are going to be absolutely phenomenal. And the reason for that is because this computer is specializing in developing and operating full self driving technology and AI learning. This is going to be arguably one of the most advanced supercomputers on the planet. And Elon Musk believes it's going to be a major component in Tesla's success long term because it's helping Tesla enter more $1 trillion ventures of full self driving technology. Now, I don't want to go into the full details about it. Elon Musk once again reiterated that for the short term, the stock value of Tesla is hard to predict. And if there's a recession, this is what Musk said, the stock, including Tesla, could drop. Okay? Musk is letting us know if there's a recession, yes, there could be downside for Tesla. Yeah, the whole market could get dragged down. But, once again, Musk said he is convinced that Tesla is going to be the most valuable company on the planet, perhaps the most valuable company in history. He's very, very bullish. Now, for the long term. Now, for raw material issues that are impacted by lockdowns and geopolitical issues, price corrections are still yet to come for Tesla, most likely. So we might see increases or decreases, really depending on other factors. If the recession is serious, as Elon Musk said, he believes that deflation could actually lead to better margins for Tesla due to lower potential costs of commodities and other things like that. The trend is strong towards the use of full self driving technology, and the improvement will increase with enthusiasm. That's actually what Elon Musk said. And he mentioned the fact that Tesla is also working on their computers while integrating AI technology. That's where he started talking more about the Dojo supercomputer. And whoever keeps up with the EV trend can keep up with Tesla. That's one of the things that Elon Musk said. He said that in China, the people there are working the hardest and the smartest, and he believes that many of the car companies over there, the manufacturers, are going to be doing a very good job at competing. He actually said that he respects them, and there's so much more to come. Anyways, guys, that's basically what I have for this video. I know I went over a lot. Thank you all so much for listening. Tesla to the moon, because the long-term future is still incredibly bright. I just want to note that we have so much to come with the share price. This thing is continuing to climb. It's likely going to squeeze a lot of these shorts out of their positions. Does this mean Tesla is going to run forever? The answer is not necessarily, because you have to watch out for the Fed and the GDP data coming out for tomorrow. But other than that, guys, that's what I have for this video. I want to thank you all so much for listening. Please have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. Please remember that if Tesla breaks past this 155 area. We could fly to about 160. It couldn't all happen in just one day, but then I'd still be very careful because later on, right, we have GDP data coming out, we have PCE, we have the FOMC meeting and more earnings. This could affect the whole market. So don't become too comfortable in one direction, and be prepared for anything. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, guys. Remain calm, cool, and collected, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon because the long-term future is still incredibly bright, and peace out.